What is an IPGA? This is the question that I've been asked so many times over the last, I don't even know how many videos, but basically IPGA is the business model that I'm currently running, and it's pretty much an agency, but it's not like the traditional SMMA where I'm running like Facebook ads for roofing companies or whatever. IPGA stands for Info Product Growth Agency, and essentially all that means is that I'm helping influencers on social media create info products, which is basically like courses and like paid communities. You may know this as growth operating or IPGA, depending on which influencers that you watch. But throughout this video, I'm going to be going over the entire concept. And if you hear me interchange the two words, just know they mean the exact same thing. So don't get confused there. All right. So you may be wondering, what have my experiences been like running an IPGA? It's been pretty good, if I'm being completely honest. I started this business in late November of 2023, and I signed my first client early December 2023. And I know that seems like an instant success, but just remember, I've been running an SMMA for the last 10 months. So that's where I learned how to do like sales, marketing, how to talk to people. And I've also had a mentor guide me along the way. So if it seems like instant success, just remember that it took 10 months to get me here. But that being said, I have one client, as I said before, but there's also another influencer who reached out to me through one of my YouTube videos, and he scheduled an onboarding call with me. So I'm gonna close them pretty soon, but that means I'll have 2 clients before February. So yeah, it's been going pretty well. And I'm not sure if you've noticed the last video that I posted on my channel. That video was basically just to attract more clients to my business and kind of get them interested in my service. And I'm gonna go over how to like reach out to all these like influencers and like professionals later on in the video, but that's just the way that I get my clients. Anyways, let's get into the video. All right, so you may be wondering how I started this business, and basically it was because, as I mentioned earlier, I was running an SMMA for like 10 months before I started my IPGA, and I just hated SMMA. I hated going back from school, like in between my classes, and cold calling. I would always get rejected. I hated cold calling, and I just didn't care about getting qualified leads for roofing companies. Like, bro, that was so boring. I'm entitled to my own opinion, and I think that was just so corny. Like, I didn't want to be the type of person that did something that I didn't like to do for money, because money is not that important. I don't want to sell my life away. You know what I'm saying? Doing something that I don't even like. So after getting a couple rejections, I took a couple days off, and I just like sat and I thought, and I just journaled about what I wanted to do with my life. No technology or whatever. And then I figured out that the most important thing for me was building a personal brand, because I love recording content and just like posting on social media. I've been doing it since I was literally 10 years old, and I wanted to help other people do the exact same thing, because personal brands, it's like a really good business, first of all, and I just think it's really cool. So after figuring out what I wanted to do, I was pretty early to learn about this IPGA / growth operating business, and I just took action. I watched like 2 YouTubers that kind of taught me a lot about this. Sander Stage was a YouTuber who kind of like put me on this entire business model, and I was like, yeah, I need to do that. That is so smart. I'm switching the out of SMMA right now. So I started learning a little bit more about it, and I met a couple people that were also doing it. And there's this influencer, his name is Eddie Cumberbatch. If you know anything about IPGA or growth operating, then you know who this guy is. He's pretty much like the main guru of IPGA or like growth operating, and he hosts like free classes on Wednesdays. And if you're a complete beginner, he's gonna explain it a lot better than I will. So join his free class on Wednesday, and you're just gonna learn a bunch about IPGA or like growth operating. And after you do that, start taking action, because that's what I did, and that's why I signed my clients so fast before this entire business model gets saturated, because the offer is just so good that it's going to get saturated eventually. So if you're watching this video, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months after it drops, then I think you're still early. You may be late depending on how fast you take action, but this business model, it's so untapped, and it's just such a good offer, and you can make a lot of money doing it. All right, boom. This is how you get clients for your IPGA if you want to take action, or if you don't want to watch all of those free classes or whatever. So look, IPGA is creating courses in like online communities for influencers. So you need to reach out to people that can create online communities and courses. Just any type of educational influencer, not like streamers or like only people that teach their audience something, that's who you're gonna wanna reach out to. And look, I don't know how long you've been here. I don't know if you're new here, but this channel is not for robots. So if you think I'm gonna give you like the best cold DM script to use to like land 100 clients, then you like click off this video. If you're watching this video and if you like my content, then you are gonna learn how to think for yourself. And I'm not saying this in a mean way. I'm saying this so you can develop yourself and actually become a good entrepreneur, because nobody teaches this on YouTube. So instead of telling you a cold DM script, I'm gonna tell you about the 2 types of traffic. There's actually 3 types of traffic, but I'm only gonna go over 2 in this video. All right, so first we have cold traffic. And cold traffic is basically just reaching out to somebody that doesn't know who you are. For example, like cold DMs and like cold emails and stuff. And your objective with cold traffic is just to get the person who you're reaching out to trust you and like you, because nobody's gonna buy from you if they don't know you or if they don't trust you. So if you're reaching out to like an influencer with like 500K followers and you're some dude with like 27 followers, private account, Xbox gamer tag username, weird profile picture, and you're just in his DMs telling him, oh, buy my service, I'm only charging $2,000 up front and like 40%. Like, he's gonna say no. Like, he has no clue who you are, first of all. And it's like, why would he? It doesn't make sense. So think about this logically. Forget that it's over like text and stuff. Imagine you're meeting this person in real life. Like, you would go up to them, shake their hand, introduce yourself, talk like just a little bit. And then after the conversation starts flowing, you would start telling them a little bit about what you do if they ask. But if you're good at sales, you would like lead the conversation in that way. Then you can pitch them. If you're going out DMing a bunch of these influencers and you're pitching them off rip, then they just won't respond to you because they have no clue who you are. All right, so the second type of traffic is called warm traffic. As I mentioned before, cold traffic is when the person who you're reaching out to has no clue who you are. But warm traffic is when they do know who you are. So it's like they've seen you before, or they know that they have a problem and they're looking for a solution, right? So they're coming to you first and they're already interested. I feel like this is just a lot better, because if they're coming to you and saying they're already interested, you don't have to waste all that time like building trust and all that stuff. It's obviously good to have conversations with them, but like you don't have to be OD. With cold DMs, it's like you don't know who's gonna respond to you. But if you're getting warm traffic and people are reaching out to you, you know that's like a guaranteed response. And depending on how your closing is, you could get them on a call easily. I used to send cold DMs. Like when I started my like IPGA / like when I started growth operating, I used to cold DM like fitness influencers, whatever. And I barely got any responses. The ones that did respond to me, I never got any one of those people on a call. And then I found a YouTuber and his name was Remarco Morrison. He's a pretty sick dude. He's like around my age and he posts stuff about like IPGA growth operating as well. And he had a client before me. And I asked him like, yo, how did you get your first client? And he's like, you can send 100 DMs a day. But if you post one YouTube video, it could easily get like 1,000 views. And that's just so many more impressions than sending DMs to people who you don't know will respond. But the views that you get on your video, they clicked on your video. So that's warm traffic. So the way I got my first client is that I posted a YouTube video, basically just talking about the business model. And then 2 influencers, like the influencers that I talked about before, they found that YouTube video and they reached out to me. And now one of them is my client and one of them I'm gonna close like pretty soon. So obviously, again, I'm entitled to my own opinion, but based on my experiences in my own life, I think that warm traffic is literally just a million times better than cold traffic. So if you want to reach out to clients and send cold DMs, go ahead. But I don't send cold DMs, so I can't tell you what to do in that area. I post content and attract warm leads to be my clients. And that's why my closing rate with IPGA has been so high. Okay, so now you know how to get a client. So after you get a client, this is what you need to do to like build out the info community and then start getting paid. So once you get your client, the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is create a sales and marketing funnel for them. And this is basically just to show them how to convert their like audience from like their social media to go through like a landing page or whatever, and then to their community. There's no like funnel tutorials, best funnel tutorials. Just do what makes sense to you. Like, I really hope you understand that I'm not gonna tell you what to do and you genuinely need to think, but do what makes sense. You don't have to look to anybody else for guidance when you're creating a funnel. So trust yourself that you can make a good funnel, so do it. And after you make like a funnel on how to get them from like TikTok to your paid community, after you create a funnel for them, then you would create like a marketing funnel. It's like, once you create the community, how are you gonna get people into the community? After you figure out the sales funnel, you need to figure out how to get them into the community and actually buy. So after you create those funnels, then you would need to create a community. And I mentioned the guy named Eddie Cumberbatch earlier in this video, and in his Wednesday live calls, he pretty much walks you through how to like start a community on school.com. I personally don't use school.com. I use Sanders Stage's software. It's called COET.ai. And you could also build a community on Discord. If you join my Discord server, the link is in the description right now. I have a couple of friends who know about COET. I know about COET, and I have a couple of friends who know about like Discord communities. So depending on what your creator wants and whichever platform you want to create like a community for them on, then join my Discord server and ask me about it, and I can help you in that aspect. And then once you build out the actual community, remember the marketing funnel that you would have to create for your client before you even built out the community? After you build up the community, you would use the marketing funnel to drive people into your paid community. What I did, I'm gonna be like personal here. What I'm gonna do for my client, like once he launches his product or like his community, then I'm gonna like promote it on his like Instagram or whatever. And I'm only gonna get like a limited amount of people inside the community. And I'm gonna use this group of people like test subjects. I'm gonna ask them what they want, what type of courses do they want inside the community, and etc. Just so they can help me build the dream product, because you don't wanna build out all of your courses before people like even tell you that they like it. So get like a small group of people inside to tell you what they like, so you could build your community around the community. And then after you get that test subject and after you record the new courses that they want, then you would start releasing it to the public, and then just continue following your sales funnel to just drive more traffic into the paid community, because you've already marketed it, it's already published, it's already launched. So you just follow your sales funnel to just drive more traffic into that paid community. And that's pretty much it. And since you've made it to the end of the video, this is where I probably think you're waiting for. It's how to get paid and like how much you're actually gonna get paid. So realistically, you could probably monetize like 0.1 to like 2% of your creator's audience. And an info community usually sells anywhere from like $10 a month to $199 a month, depending on how valuable you think your community is. You could price it whatever, it's literally your choice. Let's say you have a creator that has 100,000 followers on all their social media platforms combined. So with this influencer that you're working with 100,000 followers, let's say they convert 1% of that. What's 1% of 100,000? Let's say you convert 1,000 people into that paid community, and those 1,000 people pay you $20 a month. That's $20,000 a month that you're making for your creator. And as a growth operator or as like an IPGA owner, you would take a revenue split. So let's say you take 50%. 50% is really high, but that means with that 100,000 follower influencer, you would be making 10K a month, depending on your revenue split. I would recommend for your first client at least to not charge an upfront fee or like a setup fee before you start selling people into your paid community. That's what I did. My client, I didn't charge him any money, but the money that I'm going to make with him is the revenue split. So with your first client, don't charge them anything. But with the clients to come, you could charge them like setup fees, because now you actually know what you're doing. But before you figure out what you're doing, don't charge any money for your service. It's simple. You're gonna get paid regardless. So yeah, those are the ways that you could get paid. You could charge a setup fee, and you could have like a revenue split. And those are pretty much the ways to get paid. So in conclusion, take what you please with this business model. This video was kind of just a rant. If you think you would like it, then join my Discord, because I teach people about it. I help people. I'm not selling any courses. I'm not a guru. I'm just trying to help people, because people need more people like me in this space. That being said, I personally think that this business model is like a great opportunity to make money. The profit margins are really high, but at the end of the day, if it's not what you like doing, then you don't have to do it. I'm not trying to force anything on you. At the end of the day, you think for yourself and you make your own decisions. That being said, I appreciate you for watching this video, sticking all the way through to the end. If you're not already following me on Instagram, my @ is Jefto with a dot after the J. I'm pretty active on there, so drop a follow. The link is also going to be in the description, and join my Discord. I host weekly Ask Me Anything calls on Thursdays at 1:10 p.m. EST, and those get pretty good because it's kind of like a smaller group of people that are more serious about all this stuff. So if that interests you at all, join my Discord server, follow me on Instagram, drop a like on this video and subscribe. Share this video with your friends if you think I'm cool, if you think this business model is cool, whatever. If you like this video, come on, help your boy out. With that being said, I appreciate you for watching. I'll see you next week. Take care.